Hello, Clinton students, and welcome back, Emily. So, Emily, what's our next step?
So now that you've done the empathize stage and gathered information about your design challenge in relation to your user, you have to define the problem further.
That's called the define stage, right?
Yes. So here in the define stage, you'll synthesize your research and hone in on what is the true issue at hand.
The crux of the matter, you might say.
Indeed. Remember the animated video from the first day? Though the challenge that they started with was one thing about helping seniors with mobility, they actually pivoted because they realized that the real problem was a different thing, and it was more about helping seniors to make social connections. So when you go through the define stage, you might kind of pivot to a different problem altogether, or you might just be narrowing in on your original issue or problem statement. So if you'll recall from last week, the initial challenge was to design a comfortable face mask. That's a pretty open-ended prompt. Comfortable can mean different things to different people, and people use face masks differently. I was interviewing Miss Kambhu. I'm going to look at some specific problems that I might try to solve for her. So what I remember from the interview was that she was talking about using her face mask and her bike helmet at the same time, and she was struggling a little bit with her long hair. So my problem statement could be, how can I design a face mask for a cyclist with long hair?
That would really help me a lot. Thank you, Emily, for taking us through the define stage. One thing that you might come across is that the user might not directly tell you what the problem is. So it's up to you to use informed inferences from the data that you collect through observation, body language, interviews, or process walkthroughs to define the problem statement. And though the end of this stage is basically just one sentence, it can be hard to get it exactly right. So if you want to talk through your ideas, you can always email me or pop into my virtual office hours. I'm super excited to hear about your developing ideas.